Yes, sir. Present, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Mr. King, before we proceed any further, my court reporter, Ms. Kayleen Rivera, is making an official record of this proceeding. Everything we say or do is recorded. It is important that I inform you of certain rights and protections that you have. First of all, you have the right to remain silent. That means you don't have to make any kind of statement. You don't have to answer questions, and you don't have to submit written paperwork that has your signature, especially papers wherein you admit or confess to wrongdoing. You understand you have the right to remain silent.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a jury trial. That means you and you yourself have an individual right to demand that you and your attorneys select 6 people from a pool of citizens, disinterested citizens, that would hear all the evidence in this case, if any, and decide whether you've been proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt or whether you are in fact not guilty. You understand you have the right to a jury trial.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to confront witnesses. What that means is that you and your attorney, if you decided to go to trial, the state would have to present evidence concerning your guilt, and if any, and you and your attorney would have the right to question, cross-examine, or challenge any witness who would testify. That's called the right to confront witnesses. You understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
You also have the right to appeal.
Your Honor, excuse me. I just talked to Linda and she's saying we are still missing the plea agreement paperwork.
Patty, it's just waiting for judge's signature. So if we want to get the plea taken care of, and then judge can just sign off on it afterwards, but the defendant has already signed it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. You also have the right to appeal. That right is a right wherein you and your attorney, or individually, could demand that a higher court review the official record, the evidence in this case, and for whatever legal challenge you wanted to make. That right is a bit technical. You have to know how to, what forms and substance you would have in those different forms. You'd also have time limitations, among other things. So you understand you have the right to appeal.
Yes, sir.
You also have a right to demand that this proceeding be held in the open public courtroom. Because of the COVID pandemic, that's not being done. What's being done is, as you see it, video conference by computer or phone. But you have the right to make that demand, and so does the state. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, in order to proceed, you have reviewed all the documents that are made of record that have your signature. Specifically, let's start with the document wherein you agreed to the, it is titled defendants, excuse me. The document is the defendant's acknowledgement or agreement to conduct this proceeding by video conference. You understand that you looked at that and signed that, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And all the other documents, the documents that have your signature, you yourself reviewed them with your attorney and you understood them, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. One of the main documents is the one that's titled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. It identifies you. It says what you're pleading to. It says in there, among other things, that you acknowledge the rights and protections that have been explained to you, that you understand that. what you're giving up and how. It also has a statement in there that you understand the agreement that you've made with the state is not binding on me as a judge. As a judge, I have the authority and responsibility to either approve your deal or reject it. I got to do one or the other. I can also give you any punishment in the range of punishment for your particular offense, even if I give you a punishment that's heavier than what you agreed to. If I reject your deal, or if I give you a punishment that's heavier than what you agreed to, in either of those two cases, the law would allow you to start all over. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand the document that I'm referring to?
Yes, sir.
And the documents that you signed, did your attorney review them with you and explain them to you?
Yes.
All right. Now, there's another document wherein I certify to you as the trial court. It is called the Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. I certify in there that because you are involved in a plea bargain deal, you are giving up your right to appeal, the right I talked about a while ago. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you did sign it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Ms. Rapp or Mr. Ritchie, did you, in fact, guide or counsel Mr. King in reviewing the documents in this case and explain them to him? Which one are you speaking for him at this point?
Yes, sir, we did.
All right. So now, did you also sign an affirmation as attorney that affirmed that the state had complied with Article 39.14 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure in that they had provided to you all the discovery that is required by law?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. King, is he getting, at this point, is he supposed to get probation?
It's deferred adjudication.
All right. And okay, state, what will be his plea?
Judge, I believe it's no contest plea. It is no contest.
All right. And what will be the charge?
Judge, it's assault married.
Assault, bodily injury, married. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Hold on. Can I
The
ask you something, Your Honor?
It's,
Judge,
Judge,
excuse,
it's.
excuse me,
Oh, Go
I'm
on, Betty.
listening.
the charge on the system shows ABI dash family slash household.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Sorry, Judge.
But can I say something?
Yes, sir. You better.
Yeah, the offense was against my brother, and he don't live in my household. I can understand the family violence, but we don't live together.
Okay. So state, what is he going to plead to? I need to know.
Judge, it's assault, bodily injury, family.
All right. And nothing on household per se. All right. So to the charge of assault, bodily injury, family, how do you plead, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
A no contest plea is considered a guilty plea. Did anyone threaten you, intimidate you, or promise you anything other than the plea bargain in exchange for your plea of no contest?
No, sir.
All right. I accept your plea of no contest. All right. Now, state, recite for me for the record the agreement that's been reached concerning punishment.
Yes, Judge. It's a $300 fine plus court costs, 12 months deferred, 24 community service hours, APSE, the affirmative finding of family violence, and no harmful or injurious contact with Herbert King.
No contact with Herbert King.
No harmful contact, Judge, with Herbert King.
All right. Mr. Jerome King, is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have any minor children?
Yes, I have a 5-year-old son.
And do you live with the mother of the child?
Yes, married to her.
Okay. Mr. Ritchie and Ms. Rapp, you'll carefully inform your client of the repercussions involving issues of access and custody of a child if he is in fact convicted concerning family violence, or there is an actual finding of commission of family violence.
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. And is this, to your understanding, counsel, of the agreement that's been reached?
Yes.
All right. Then I accept the plea. First of all, I find that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty of the family violence, but I do not. I am granting you, in accordance with the agreement, deferred adjudication of 12 months. You are fined $300 plus court costs. Now, how do you make a living, sir?
I'm a supervisor in commercial and construction trucking.
What kind of money do you make?
It all depends on weather, anywhere from 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, depends on the weather. And
Over a year, what do you average?
last year I did 60,000.
You're under oath. Just tell me what your best guess is.
Oh, I said last year I did close to 68,000, I believe.
All right, that's a minimum of 5,000 a month and change. All right.
Depending on the weather.
Okay. I enter a finding, an affirmative finding of family violence. I also order that you have no harmful or injurious contact with Herbert King, your brother. You said that's your brother? Jerome,
Yes, sir.
Herbert is
Yes,
your
sir.
brother? You will do 24 hours of community service restitution. You will complete the APSE program. I do not accept the $300 fine with the kind of income you got. I make that $600 as a minimum. It should be more. But since I'm giving you a punishment that's greater than what the agreement was, you have the right to decide that you're going to start all over again. That's your call. You'll pay the 600 plus court costs unless you decide you want to start all over again. 12 months deferred adjudication. You will perform 24 hours of community service restitution. Your supervisory fee will be $52 a month. Now, do you want to accept that or you want to reject it? It's your call.
I'm gonna accept it. I want to get this over with.
Okay. Any questions, Mr. King?
No, none.
Any questions, Mr. Ritchie or Ms. Rep?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All righty. Any questions from the state?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
All right, then that concludes this, except that you have to come by the offices of the County Court Law Number 5, Mr. King. You got to put your thumbprint on the documents. Don't forget what I've said earlier. I'm sure you heard it, but you have to live up to 100% of the conditions of supervision. You heard that, right?
Yes, sir.
If you live up to everything, you won't even have a conviction of this family violence. It will not be a conviction under law. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
If you violate it, then it hits the fan. So you've heard what I had to say about that. Don't leave. You have to visit with Ms. Maricela Luna. She will get you started on the probation side of this program. All right. Then the rest,